This is Tech Today. The new Beats Solo 4 headphones are the successor to the Solo 3, which came out nearly 8 years ago. That's a lot of time in tech years. But what are they like to use? What are my thoughts? How do they differ from the Beats Studio Pro that came out a year before? And is either a good fit for you? And if so, which one is the right fit for you? In this review of the Beats Solo 4, we'll find out. The first thing that you notice about the Beats Solo 4 is how insanely small it is. In fact, it's so tiny that it's in my pocket right now. That's crazy. Combined with the folding mechanism, this makes it an incredible option for travel. You can even fit it inside the Beats Studio Pro and rest it in the ear cups. That represents a significant difference between the Beats Solo 4 and the Beats Studio Pro, and I'm confident it'll be the most crucial difference in comfort for most people. You see, the Beats Studio Pro has ear cups that rest outside and around your earlobes and are pretty comfortable for my ear size, but I can't speak for those with bigger ears. Oh, and by the way, neither of these have a sensor on it to detect whether or not you've removed them from your head, and it won't play your pause or your music or anything like that, so that's a bit of a bummer. Alternatively, the Beats Solo 4 has a relatively small ear cup design that rests on your earlobes. However, unlike the Studio Pro, my earlobes hurt a little bit after a couple of hours. It hurts like when you wake up after lying down on the wrong way on your ear and you lift your head from your pillow and it's just like, oh, it hurts like a lot. Yeah, it's like that. That's one of the most significant trade-offs for having a much smaller size. Along with that small size is a lightweight feel, only 7.65 ounces compared to the Studio Pro's 9.17 ounces, which you can definitely feel when you're working out. Shockingly, they don't fall off my head easily, which is not something I would have expected with their on-ear design. And the clamping force on it doesn't feel too intense or uncomfortable for me, but every head is different. If you have a bigger head than mine, both have a durable pull system design, and the headband feels highly flexible and durable, so hopefully that's enough to keep it comfortable. Both have a top headband with squishy padding covered by rubber. They seem easy to wipe off, and the clean, modern design certainly helps with that. To control both, you have the Beats logo button on the left side, which handles the typical play pauses, answer calls, next song interactions, you know, all those things. That's also where you'll find the volume rocker, a must-have for me on any headphone. On the Beats Studio Pro, you can use a power pair button to change between ANC and transparency mode. Unfortunately, the Solo 4 doesn't have ANC or transparency, so the power pair button is only used for powering on and pairing. This button is rather small and often in a different spot than what I would expect it to be, so I'm often fumbling around trying to find it. In regards to actual materials and feel, they both use a lot of plastic, and that's okay, especially if lightweight design is the goal. But there is a range of how premium plastic can feel. The Beats Studio Pro is average, but the Solo 4 feels less premium and hefty. You can hear this when you click the buttons or wiggle them around. Beyond weight, I think this helped them achieve a cheaper price point of $199 compared to the Studio Pro's $350 list price, so it all depends on what you're okay with in terms of trade-offs, as a more premium build without plastic tends to cost a lot more. Both can achieve lossless audio quality by plugging them into a device over USB-C or 3.5mm headphone jacks. However, only the Solo 4 can work passively over the 3.5mm headphone jack. The Studio Pro is active, so it does require a charged battery to work in that mode. The Studio Pro also has a unique feature when plugged in over USB-C. You can double tap on the power pairing button to change EQ modes between the default Beats signature, which is the default sound, entertainment, which adds a bit more bass, or conversation, which is tailored for podcasts as it thins out the sound quite a bit. Unusually, this is only available when plugged in over USB-C, so not over Bluetooth. Both have fast pairing support for iOS and Android. As far as I know, Beats is the only brand that has products with fast pairing features for both platforms since Apple owns Beats. They also have Bluetooth 5.3 support, and in my use, I can walk all around my house and not lose signal even if I'm upstairs or connected through several walls and doors, which is just fantastic. Both models have a form of Find My support on iOS and Android, but it's less robust than what you'd find on an Apple AirTag or the new Android Find My device trackers. It's based on the last connection to your device, so if the battery runs out or it's not connected to your device anymore, it won't update. While it's nice to have something there, it won't be very up to date or specific, so you may find yourself still looking around your house and having a hard time finding him. The Solo 4's battery life is rated for 50 hours, 10 hours longer than the Beats Studio Pro. In the rare moment that you need to recharge them, the Solo 4 gets 5 hours of playback and the Studio Pro receives 4 hours of playback after a 10-minute charge. The Beats Solo 4 has upgraded microphones from the prior model with noise learning algorithms and other things, but how well does it perform in real life and how does it compare to the Studio Pro? Let's check out some objective samples to see. The screen labels show the headphones used and their test environments. Let me know what you notice and what you prefer in the comments. If you enjoy in-depth reviews like this and all the work put into it, please consider becoming a channel member. You can do that by tapping the join button next to the subscribe button. This is what the microphone quality on the Beats Solo 4 sounds like if you are in a simulated noisy cafe environment. This is what the microphone on the Beats Studio Pro would sound like if you are in a simulated noisy cafe environment. This is what the microphone sounds like on the Beats Solo 4 if you are in a simulated noisy environment. I'm in front of a fan. To do that, how do you think it sounds? Perfect. This is what the microphone on the Beats Studio Pro sounds like in a simulated windy environment with a fan. How's it sounding? I can actually hear it actually going through the speakers. That's probably because this has ANC transparency mode. One of the downsides of having those features is that it has to compensate for all that rather than passively blocking it like on the Sony. And this is what it would sound like if you were to receive an HD phone call while wearing the Beats Solo 4. How do you think it sounds? And this is what it would sound like if you were to receive an HD phone call while wearing the Beats Studio Pro. By the way, you can also support me by using the Super Chat feature or purchasing these by using the affiliate links in the description. Your support allows me to hire help and make videos like this available for you and everyone else for free. So thank you. What are your thoughts and observations on how well the microphones perform? Let me know in the comments. When you think of Beats, what kind of sound comes to mind? For many years, they've had a very bass-heavy sound, especially before Apple acquired them. Over the past few years, they've been refreshing their lineup and moved a few steps towards a more mature and balanced sound. Their Beats Studio Buds surprised me, and that's when I realized that a change was occurring. The Beats Solo 4 and the Studio Pro continue that movement towards something less overly bassy into a bright, airy sound that allows more detail to shine through. Personally, I like a brighter, more energetic high end, but even for me, the high end is brighter than what I would prefer on both of them. The Studio Pro seemed harsher than the Solo 4, but both are still too harsh for my ears. When comparing the two normally, the Beats Solo 4 has less bass than the Studio Pro. The Solo 4 is a bit empty in many ways, emphasizing the mid-range and highs, which make things sound a bit unnatural to me. I looked through the settings to see if I had something turned off, but I couldn't find anything. The on-ear design is likely a factor, as sound can change depending on placement. And like with any headphone, pushing them closer into your ear results in more bass, which is just not unique. Here's a sample to show how placement changes the sound and a comparison with the Beats Studio Pro for sound quality. Despite the Beats Studio Pro having more bass, I often wanted to have more bass to help balance it out because of all the treble that it has. As an audio engineer specializing in mixing bands, especially live, the goal is always to have a balanced sound so everything shines through. You can hear everything clearly. But what do most people do when they want more of something? They increase it. But in the mixing world, you first seek to discover what is lacking by finding what is too much and cutting that before boosting things. You may not need to boost anything at all because it's being overshadowed by something else, like a high-end that is boosted too much. That's what's happening on the Studio Pros. There's a lot of treble, and taming that will allow the bass to come through better. Overall, the way something sounds is the most important thing to me, and these are too bright for my ears. However, you may have a different preference, or your ears may be in a different shape than mine. If you like a much more treble forward sound, but not a ton of overwhelming bass, these might be a good fit for you. So, is the Beats Solo 4 or the Studio Pro for you? As always, even if something doesn't fit my taste and it's not something that I would use, my job as a reviewer is to be empathetic to you. Think of who this is for and find the factors that would make this for or not for you despite my preferences. So here are some questions to help you work through and consider whether or not you should pick up either of these, and if so, which one. If you want and need ANC or transparency mode, consider the Beats Studio Pro. If you plan to wear these for hours and are concerned about comfort, the Solo 4 might not be suitable, so consider the Studio Pros again. If you want the most battery life possible, pick the Solo 4. If you want more bass, pick up the Studio Pro. If you're really sensitive to high-end frequencies, you might fare better with the Solo 4, but it's still treble emphasized. If you want something light and easy to travel with, the Beats Solo 4 is the easy choice. If you want something that pairs easily with iOS and Android devices, check out any recently released Beats product. So which one is for you, the Beats Solo 4 or the Studio Pro? Let me know which one and why. Thanks to Beats for sending me the Solo 4 for review. I did buy the Beats Studio Pro with my own money. Beats has no editorial control over this content and they see it at the same time as you. No one sponsored this video, so using the affiliate links in the description would be appreciated. Thanks for watching. This is Tech Today. Until next time.